up folks, welcome back to the channel. Alright, so today I'm just going to continue the saga of the sore ass syndrome that I've had with this here standard Honda Crosstourer seat. So I've never really been able to get on with this on long journeys, and I'm talking really anything over a couple of hours in the saddle gets really uncomfortable, and I find myself shifting about. It's been a bit of a pain. It is a known issue for some people, not for all, but for some. So my first attempt to remedy that problem, that literal pain in the arse, were to buy an AIRHAWK seat, because they come quite highly recommended. Now they're not cheap, they're 110 quid. So I'll just show you a clip here of how the one that I bought looks attached to this seat. The one that I bought was called the AS model, and the listing clearly said that was for adventure bikes stroke sports tourer bikes. And I have to say, when it came, it looked fairly small. It looks like a pair of 1970s underpants, if you ask me. A bit baggy and looking as if it has no real purpose in life at all, certainly not as a seat. Anyway, so I persevered with it. It straps on in a way that I would describe as being quite flimsy, considering what it's got to put up with. And therein lies a tale, actually. So when it's strapped on, the idea is that you actually inflate the insert in the saddle liner, and you don't overinflate it. You've got to inflate it somewhere around about 20 to 30%, and just keep adjusting it till it fits, until it feels comfortable. Well, I have to report that I must have adjusted that thing 30 or 40 times in an attempt to get it comfortable over distance, and have failed miserably. And then to cap it all, I had occasion whilst riding the bike with that thing sat under my arse to brake heavily to avoid an idiot in a Tilcon wagon that had decided to U-turn in front of me. And as a consequence of that, of course, I slid forward on the saddle, and the straps that hold the AIRHAWK to this seat, one of them snapped, and the thing flew forward. So I wasn't right impressed with that, so I took it off, slung it in top box, came back home and contacted the supplier on eBay, and to be very fair to them, within 2 minutes literally of sending them the email, they rang me up and offered me a full refund. So no issues there, but don't work, and it's a bit flimsy. Now the guy at the supplier said he's been selling these things for years and he's never come across this problem before. Well, fair enough, but you never come across a problem until you come across a problem, don't you? And I'm not saying that would necessarily happen again, but they are very flimsy straps. And someone actually likened them to bra straps. So I felt like pointing out, actually, it's a Honda Crosstourer, not a Honda Crossdresser, but I don't think that degree of flippancy had got me anywhere. Anyway, got fully refunded, and I've arrived at a very satisfactory conclusion to this tale, really, and let me show you how I've achieved it for a tenner more than the cost of that £110 AIRHAWK seat. Right folks, here's the solution of the sore ass syndrome. It is in fact a recovered standard Honda OEM seat that I bought used, looks brand new, from another Crosstourer owner locally who's selling his bike for something a bit smaller. So I managed to buy this for 120 quid. I got refunded £110 for the AIRHAWK seat. I wish I'd gone down this route in the first instance, because other day I went out on a long ride on this, good 3 hours in the saddle, no problem whatsoever. As you can see, it's a lot thicker than the original seat. So what the reupholsterer, a fellow called Tony Archer from Huddersfield, what he's done obviously is take apart the old seat, reupholster it using a lot more foam, and recovering it and giving it as well a colour-coded trim for this red bike here. So we've got some nice red pipe in front and rear, and I have to say this has been a massive improvement. I would have been happy with a modest improvement to the overall riding discomfort, but this has been an absolute revelation. So if you find you've got the same issues with the standard Honda Crosstourer seat, and you're getting an unback side on a long ride, and you don't fancy the AIRHAWK padded seat or gel seats or other add-on solutions, this might be the way to go if you can find yourself a really good upholsterer that can rebuild the seat for you. So a big shout out to Tony Archer from Huddersfield. Tony, I've never met you, but absolutely cracking job. Cheers, bud. Problem solved.